Before you watch this video, turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and remember, some stories aren't just told, they're summoned. You've entered the domain of Horror Whisper. Tonight, you'll hear 5 stories, 5 reasons not to close your eyes, because in each of them, something is watching. They say the last house on Camber Street wasn't always the last. There were others, but they're gone now, burned, demolished, forgotten. Only one remains. Number 47, the one with the blue shutters and the porch light that's always flickering. For years, the house sat empty. No buyers, no squatters, not even kids brave enough to throw rocks at the windows. It was wrong, they said. It watched you back. But in 2019, the Williams family moved in. A young couple, 2 kids, big dreams. Within a week, neighbors heard screaming at night. Within 2, the mail started piling up. And by the 3rd week, the porch light stopped flickering. Police broke in after 27 days. Inside, no one was home, no bodies, no blood, nothing but mirrors. Every wall, every room, dozens of antique mirrors, framed, broken, smeared with handprints. Some still fogged, like someone had just breathed on them. In the master bedroom, a single phrase was carved into the wall above the bed. Do not reflect what you cannot confront. The house is empty again. But the porch light? It flickers every night. And if you stand on the sidewalk long enough, sometimes you'll see your own reflection staring back at you from the window, but it won't blink when you do. Julia always thought the scratching sounds in her apartment were just rats. Old building, thin walls. She never worried. But last Friday night, she came home early, and the sounds were louder, more deliberate, from the air vents. She called her landlord. He brushed it off, said it's normal. That's when she installed a baby monitor and left it pointed at the vent. At 3:12 a.m., it recorded breathing, deep, human, followed by a voice that whispered her name, but it was her own voice. Next morning, she opened the vent cover. Inside was a mirror, facing inward. Behind it, fingernail scratches, fresh, blood. Police still haven't found anyone, but when she sleeps now, she hears footsteps inside the walls. Hotel Riviera is clean, cheap, and always booked, except room 313. Guests complain of whispers, flickering TVs, and a woman crying behind the walls. One man, a YouTuber chasing clicks, booked it on purpose. He went live. 1 hour in, he's laughing. 2 hours in, the signal glitches. At 3 hours, the chat watches in silence, as a woman slowly crawls out from under the bed. But here's the thing. The man never screams, never moves, just stares at the lens, smiling. The video ends with him whispering, "I'm not alone in here." Room 313 is sealed now, but if you ask the right staff, they'll tell you they still hear breathing from the inside. Eddie worked the graveyard shift at a gas station just off I-90. Boring nights, black coffee, until the freezer started knocking from the inside. At first, he thought it was a prank, until he opened it and found a child's drawing. A figure with black eyes and long arms holding hands with a stick figure labeled Eddie. He threw it away. Next night, another one. But this time, Eddie's eyes were crossed out. The knocking stopped after 3 nights. When the manager opened the freezer, all the frozen food was gone, but taped to the wall was a photo. Eddie standing next to a tall, dark figure, neither of them smiling. Eddie's never been seen again. They say if you hear screaming at 3:33 a.m. in the Roseville apartments, don't look out the window. It's not a woman being attacked. It's her, and she's screaming for you. One man looked anyway. He saw her face pressed against the glass on the 3rd floor. He lives on the 6th. Since that night, he wakes up screaming every morning. Doctors say it's trauma, but neighbors say they hear 2 voices, one begging for help, the other whispering, "Open the window." You've heard the whispers, but the real horror, you're still here, and they know you listened. This has been Horror Wisp. Subscribe if you can still sleep tonight.